The moment you need her, you've already lost her. Listen to that again. You don't get power over a woman by chasing her, pleasing her, or proving yourself. You get it by walking away the second you realize you don't need her. You get it by knowing that your value doesn't live in her attention, her approval, or her validation. What if everything you were told about how to get women was designed to make you weak? If the world programmed you to serve, to submit, to beg, and called it love. This video is not for the faint of heart. This is for the man who's tired of being invisible, tired of giving more than he gets, tired of performing like a clown just to be chosen. This is the wake-up call, and if you're ready to hear the truth, comment right now. I choose power. She wants the man who doesn't need her, not the one who texts her 12 times a day, not the one who cries when she says she's not feeling it anymore. She wants the man who could walk away mid-sentence and never look back if respect disappears. That's power. You've been taught wrong. Society tells you to be nice, be agreeable, be soft. They say happy wife, happy life. They tell you to open up, cry, tell her all your emotions, put her first. But ask yourself, has that ever made her love you more? Or did she pull away the moment you got too available, too soft, too emotional? Power isn't in volume, it's in silence. Respect isn't begged for, it's earned. And the love you're craving, it only comes when you love yourself more than you could ever love her. In this video, I will show you how to gain power over any woman, not by manipulation, not by force, but by becoming the man she can't help but follow. Number 1. Stop needing her. Break the cycle of emotional dependence. Let's start with a hard truth. The more you need a woman, the less she wants to give you what you crave. Sounds brutal, I know. But here's the thing, women can feel neediness before you even open your mouth. It's in the way you text too quickly, the way you over-explain yourself, the way you seek reassurance after every disagreement. It's energy, and she senses it instantly. And once she feels that you're operating from a place of emotional dependence, something shifts. She might not say it out loud, but the respect starts to fade. You become predictable, too available, too easy. And here's the paradox: you think you're being loyal, caring, committed. But in her eyes, it looks like you're placing her on a pedestal you don't even put yourself on. That's not attractive. That's not powerful. That's a man trying to be chosen, instead of realizing he has a choice. So how do you break out of that cycle? You stop needing her. Now, I'm not saying you stop caring. I'm saying you shift the foundation. Instead of "I need her to feel good about myself," you move into "I choose to share my life with someone, but I don't require her approval to feel whole." That's power. Because when you detach from the outcome, you finally show up as the man she can't control. And ironically, that's when she starts to respect you. That's when the attraction wakes back up. Why? Because women aren't drawn to men who orbit around them. They're drawn to men who anchor themselves. Look around you. Most guys today are emotionally homeless. They look to women to fill the voids their own discipline, purpose, and vision should have filled. They expect her to be therapist, cheerleader, soulmate, all in one. And the moment she stops performing in those roles, they crumble. But the Stoic man, he's different. He doesn't need her love to survive, because he's already filled that space with self-respect, purpose, and mastery. And that's what makes him magnetic. When a woman realizes that you want her but don't need her, she feels the difference. She leans in without being asked. Because now it's not pressure, it's polarity. It's not clinging, it's clarity. So if you've been stuck in that cycle, always trying to prove your worth, always feeling like you're losing yourself just to keep her around, step back. Look in the mirror and ask, am I leading my life, or am I emotionally outsourcing my value? If it's the latter, it's time to recalibrate. You break the cycle by remembering this. A woman doesn't complete you. She complements what you've already built. And if there's nothing solid inside you yet, no mission, no conviction, no backbone, then no amount of her affection will ever feel like enough. So stop needing her. Start building you. Because the man who needs nothing is the one she ends up chasing. Number 2, reclaim your attention. Where your focus goes, power follows. Let's talk about the most valuable currency you have: your attention. Not money, not time, not effort. Attention. Because where your attention goes, your energy follows. And where your energy flows, your identity forms. Now here's the brutal truth. Most men today are bankrupt, not financially, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Why? Because they've handed out their attention like candy, endless scrolling, texting her back instantly, wondering what she's thinking, checking her Instagram stories to decode invisible signals. You don't even realize it, but you've become enslaved to her presence, even when she's not around. And what happens when a man loses control of his focus? He becomes reactive, scattered, easy to manipulate. And women can feel it. A man who's too available, too distracted, too easily thrown off his path is a man who lacks weight. And no matter how good you look, how much money you make, without centered attention, she'll feel no real pull toward you. So let's get clear. If you want power over a woman, not to control her, but to influence her with strength, you must take back your attention, reclaim it. Because attention is a mirror. It reflects what you value. If she senses she is your center, not your choice, you've already lost frame. She wants to be desired. She doesn't want to be worshipped. And the second your focus shifts entirely onto her, every post, every message, every silence from her becomes a trigger in your system. That's not love. That's obsession. You can't lead from there. So how do you fix it? Simple, but not easy. Retrain your attention. Start small. Track how many times you reach for your phone just to check in. Catch yourself when your mind wanders toward what she might be doing. Then, redirect. Put your focus on your mission, on your health, on your mind, on the uncomfortable things that force you to expand. Because here's the thing. Attention is not just passive energy. It's a weapon. It sharpens what you focus on. It magnifies it. If you keep feeding your thoughts into her every move, you're not magnifying her. You're minimizing you. Every minute spent mentally orbiting around her life is a minute stolen from building your own. So reclaim it. Create a routine that protects your mental space. Start your day with your own goals, not a scroll through her socials. Train your mind to return to your path when it drifts. And trust me, it will drift. That's normal. But the man who has power is not the man who never gets distracted. He's the one who catches it and redirects it. That's Stoicism in action. It's not about emotionless detachment. It's about choosing where your energy goes, no matter how strong the pull. And when she starts feeling that, when she sees your eyes are no longer chasing her approval, but locked in on your own evolution, that's when the power dynamic shifts. She leans in, not because you demanded it, but because your attention now feels earned, not free. And a man whose attention is earned is a man no woman wants to lose. So if you're done wasting your focus, if you're ready to put your energy back where it belongs, type this in the comments right now: I own my focus. Let that be a line in the sand. And if you're getting real value from this, don't forget to subscribe. Not because I said so, because this is the kind of content that reminds you daily your power was never lost, just misplaced. And in the next part, We're not just reclaiming attention, we're turning it into purpose. You'll see why chasing her approval will always make you smaller, and why, when you become the mission, she either joins or gets left behind. Stick around. We're just getting started. Number 3. Become the mission. Why purpose trumps her approval. Let me be direct with you, brother. If a woman is the most important thing in your life, she'll never treat you like you are the most important thing in hers. It's harsh, but real. And it's because women aren't attracted to a man who makes her his mission. They're drawn to the man who already has one. You want power with a woman, you want her to respect you, then stop living for her reaction and start living for something bigger than her attention. Because here's the truth most men ignore. You don't rise in her eyes by orbiting around her. You rise when you move like a man who would keep building, keep grinding, keep evolving, even if she vanished tomorrow. That's what she feels in her gut. That's what flips the polarity, because now you're not looking at her like she's the destination. You're the man on a mission, and she's deciding if she can keep up. It's a complete reversal of energy. Now let's break this down. When a man lacks purpose, he makes her his purpose. He overtexts, he overexplains, he overcommits, not because he loves her, but because he has nothing else to build. And when that happens, she starts to feel it. He's no longer the mountain. He's become the shadow of her mood. And women don't submit to shadows. They surrender to strength. That's why purpose is everything. Because a man with purpose can't be easily manipulated. He can't be guilted into overgiving. He won't collapse the first time she goes cold. He has a mission to return to. And here's the real kicker. When you're in purpose, you stop asking questions like, is she pulling away? Why didn't she text back? Am I enough for her? Because your energy is too invested in your becoming. You're too busy building to beg, too focused to chase, too grounded to be shaken. That stability, that tunnel-visioned drive, it's what sets you apart from every man who's still waiting for her permission to feel like a king. Women might be drawn to looks, charm, even status, but what holds them, conviction. A man whose feet are planted so deep in his purpose, no storm she brings can knock him off path. Now, this doesn't mean you neglect her. It means you invite her in, but never lose your path to keep her around. You don't shrink your dreams to protect her comfort. You grow into them, and she either rises with you or watches you rise without her. And that is a power she can't ignore. So if you've been stuck waiting for her to see your worth, ask yourself, what are you building without her input? What's the mission that defines you, regardless of who's watching? If you can't answer that, it's time to pause everything else and go find it. Because purpose isn't just about success, it's about identity. You don't attract a high-value woman by being about her. You attract her by being about something more. And the moment you become the mission, you stop begging for her approval and start commanding her respect. If that landed and you're ready to claim something deeper, drop this in the comments. I lead with purpose. Say it with your chest. And if this video's been sharpening your thinking, you already know, hit that subscribe button. Not to support me, to support you. Because these conversations, they're a gym for your mind, and this is only set number 3. Next up, we're talking hold the frame, lead with standards, not reactions. And trust me, if you've ever felt like her moods dictate your confidence, you do not want to miss it. Stick around. We're building something unshakable. Number 4, hold the frame, lead with standards, not reactions. Let's get real for a second. One of the fastest ways to lose respect in a relationship is to constantly react instead of lead. You've seen it. She gets moody, you adjust. She pulls back, you chase. She questions your choices, you start second-guessing yourself. Little by little, you hand her the steering wheel of your emotions. And before you know it, you're no longer the man with a mission. You're just the guy trying to keep her from walking away. Here's what you need to understand. Every relationship has a frame, and someone is always holding it. The frame is the emotional container, the unspoken rules, the energy that defines who leads and who follows. And when a woman senses that you've dropped the frame when your standards melt the moment she tests you, that's when her attraction starts to erode. Because women don't follow men who follow them. They follow men who follow their principles. Now don't get it twisted. Holding the frame doesn't mean being controlling. It doesn't mean dominating every conversation or flexing your ego. It means being so grounded in who you are, what you stand for, and what you will or will not tolerate, that no amount of mood swings, manipulation, or emotional chaos can throw you off your center. And brother, she will test that, not because she's cruel, but because she wants to know. Can this man actually hold space for me? Can he be trusted when I'm emotional? When I'm irrational, when I'm scared or insecure? Or does he crumble the moment I push back? Because here's the hidden truth most men miss. Women don't test you to destroy you. They test you to discover you. They want to know what kind of man they're dealing with. And if all it takes is one bad attitude, one sarcastic comment, one withheld affection to shake you, then deep down she knows she can't relax into your leadership. So how do you hold the frame? You build standards. You define the emotional tone. You set the rules for how you engage, what you'll entertain, and what you'll walk away from. You don't raise your voice. You don't play her emotional ping pong. You calmly set the boundary and stick to it. Example: she pulls the silent treatment. You don't chase. You don't beg. You say, when you're ready to talk like an adult, I'm here. Then you go back to living your life. That's frame. That's power. That's leadership. Because when she sees that your emotions are not hers to control, she stops trying to pull the strings and starts relaxing into your energy. You become the stable force, the grounded presence, the man who doesn't shift with the wind. And that, more than any pickup line, any flex, any chase, is what draws her in. She might not say it out loud, but every woman respects the man who won't betray himself just to keep her around. So if you've been playing defense, waiting for her to set the tone, adjusting your energy to match hers, chasing validation instead of leading with clarity, it's time to shift. Hold the frame. Lead with standards, not reactions. And watch how everything changes. If that hit home, I want you to claim it below. Drop this in the comments. I hold the frame. Let it be a commitment. And if this message is sharpening your edge, go ahead, subscribe. Because we're not here for surface-level tips. We're rebuilding the mindset of grounded, untouchable men. Next up, walk away power, how detachment becomes magnetic. You'll learn why being willing to lose her is how you finally keep your power. Stay with me. This shift is just getting started. Number 5. Walk away power. How detachment becomes magnetic. Let's say it straight, the man who can walk away is the one who holds all the power. It's not about threatening to leave. It's not about playing games. It's about knowing deep in your bones that you'll never stay in a place where your peace, your value, or your purpose are compromised. That kind of energy, it shifts everything. Most guys don't get this. They think staying longer, trying harder, giving more is what wins her over. But what usually happens, she senses that you won't leave, even if she stops showing up fully. Even if she disrespects you. Even if she withdraws. Because you've made it clear you're emotionally locked in no matter what. That doesn't build connection. It builds leverage for her. And here's the bitter pill to swallow. No woman is attracted to a man she can emotionally control. But the moment you detach, not with anger, not with spite, but with quiet certainty, she feels it. That shift in your energy, that absence of desperation, that peace that says I'd rather be alone than be disrespected, that's when detachment becomes magnetic. Now listen closely. Detachment doesn't mean coldness. It means presence without dependence. It's knowing you can enjoy her company, love her even, but still walk away if it no longer aligns with your standards. And yes, she will test this. She'll push buttons, go silent, pull back, say things like, "You've changed," or "You don't care like you used to." She wants to see, do you flinch? Do you fold? Do you return to chasing? But if you've done the inner work, if you've anchored yourself in purpose and learned to hold the frame, you won't. You'll calmly say, "I care, but I don't chase." And then you go back to living your life. See a man who can walk away, doesn't have to, because his very willingness to walk makes her show up better. Why? Because now your attention isn't a given. It's not free. It's earned. And she wants to earn it. She respects it more. Because deep down, every woman knows the man she can't fully possess is the one who makes her feel the most alive. Let me say that again. The man she can't fully possess is the one who keeps her drawn in. So if you're sitting there stuck in a dynamic where you're the one always trying, always proving, always chasing her approval, take a breath and remember who you are. You're not here to beg for love. You're not here to prove you're good enough. You're here to become the man who walks in such power, such clarity, such unshakable confidence that if it's not mutual, you move on without hesitation. Not to punish, not to manipulate, but because your peace means more than her presence. If that message just hit home for you, drop this below. Right now, I choose peace. 3 words. Simple, solid, unshakable. And if this video's been giving you something real, subscribe now. Not for the algorithm, but for you. Because these aren't tips. This is training. And in the next section, we're talking about something even more subtle, the power of silence. Let her feel your absence. You'll see why pulling back without a single word often says everything. Stick with me. This gets better every step. Number 6. Kill the boy who reacts. Respond like a man, not a victim. There comes a point in every man's journey where he has to make a choice: stay the boy who reacts or become the man who responds. And the difference, it's everything. See a boy reacts to her tone, to her silence, to her games, to her affection, to her rejection. He's a mirror, not a mountain. He reflects whatever she throws at him. If she's sweet, he melts. If she's cold, he breaks. He waits on her mood to decide his value. He lives for approval and dies by neglect. Sound familiar? It's because most men were never taught emotional self-governance. They learned to chase validation instead of purpose, to react instead of reflect, to lash out, beg, sulk, explain, plead, anything but stand tall and respond with composure. But here's the deal: women don't fall for boys. They may play with them, use them, entertain them, but they don't respect them. Respect is reserved for the man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't crumble, who can sit with tension without losing control. Because that man leads himself, and in doing so, he leads her too. So how do you shift? You kill the boy who reacts. You start recognizing your emotional impulses for what they are. Signals, not instructions. She ghosts you. The boy reacts, sends a paragraph. The man pauses, reflects, responds with silence and detachment. She says something disrespectful. The boy gets angry, tries to win the argument. The man sets a boundary calmly, or he exits. She tries to make you jealous, the boy spirals. The man smiles, he already knows his worth. This is the evolution. You stop letting her behavior dictate your identity. You stop being a puppet to her unpredictability. And you start leading with emotional clarity. Here's the key: emotional control isn't suppression, it's selection. You're not bottling your feelings. You're choosing how and when they're expressed, if they serve your values, your frame, your peace. And when a woman sees that, when she throws her little storms at you and you don't flinch, don't chase, don't collapse, she stops testing. Because she sees he's not a boy I can play with. He's a man I can trust. Now look, this doesn't mean you become robotic. Stoicism isn't about being numb. It's about being unshakable. It's saying I feel this, but it doesn't run me. That's masculine power. That's leadership. And here's the irony: the more grounded you are in your own emotional rhythm, the more safe she feels around you. Because now she's not burdened with leading. She gets to surrender. But she won't do that until you stop reacting like a boy and start responding like a man. If you're done being the mirror, if you're ready to become the mountain type this below right now, I respond, not react. Say it, mean it, live it. And if this message just helped you snap out of old patterns, subscribe. Not for numbers, for transformation. Because next up, we're going deeper. Number 7, the power of silence. Let her feel your absence. We'll talk about why the words you don't say often echo the loudest, and why stillness is sometimes the strongest move you can make. We're not here to chase approval. We're here to master presence. Let's keep going. Number 7, emotional mastery. Lead yourself before you lead her. Let me ask you something most men never stop to consider. How can you expect to lead her emotions when you haven't learned how to lead your own? We talk a lot about being masculine, grounded, stoic, but emotional mastery isn't about suppressing everything. It's about owning it. It's about being so tuned in to what's going on inside you that nothing she says, nothing she does can make you spiral. Because the moment she senses that your emotions are her responsibility, that her mood, her attention, her validation are what keep you together, she will start to pull away. Why? Because now you've become her emotional project, and no woman wants to raise a man. Here's the truth: you don't earn respect by being cold. You earn it by being composed. And that composure only comes when you've taken the time to understand your internal world. It's not that she never wants to see you feel. She just wants to know you can handle what you feel. She doesn't need perfection. She needs presence. So what does emotional mastery really look like? It's not reacting. It's not hiding. It's not exploding or sulking or ghosting because she didn't say what you wanted to hear. It's recognizing that anger, jealousy, insecurity, all of it are signals, not orders. The boy lashes out. The man pauses, observes, and then responds from his standards, not his triggers. That moment when she tests your patience, when she pushes a boundary to see if you'll still fold, that's your training ground. Because if you crack every time, she'll start to feel like she's the emotional adult in the room. And once that happens, attraction takes a nosedive. But if she sees that you can hold the tension, that you can sit with uncomfortable feelings without trying to fix, flee, or freak out, now she relaxes. Why? Because now she knows this man doesn't need me to be perfect for him to stay calm. He leads himself. That's what gives her space to open. That's what gives her the safety to drop the act. That's what makes her submit not to control, but to trust. Emotional mastery isn't about being hard. It's about being centered. It's about being unshakable in your values, but fluid enough to meet life with clarity, not chaos. You stop needing her to behave a certain way just so you can stay grounded. You stay grounded no matter how she behaves. And ironically, that's exactly what makes her start showing up better. Because now your energy doesn't just respond to her, it regulates her. You're no longer just reacting to the feminine storm, you're anchoring it. That's leadership. That's power. That's masculine presence in its highest form. So if you want to change your dynamic with women, start here. Lead yourself. Know your values. Know your reactions. Know your peace. And protect it like a king guards his crown. If this part hits something real inside you, if you're ready to stop being led by your emotions and start leading through them, drop this in the comments, I lead me first. Because when that becomes true, everything else aligns. And if this series is helping you grow, click subscribe now. This isn't entertainment, it's recalibration, and it's just getting deeper. Next, we're going to talk about something almost invisible but incredibly powerful, number 8. The power of silence. Let her feel your absence. We'll unpack why saying less isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's leverage. It's your next move. Stay with me. Your power's not coming, it's already here. We're just learning how to use it. Number 8. Build the life that attracts. Evolve until you're unrecognizable. Let me hit you with something simple but deadly powerful. If your life doesn't attract her, your words won't convince her. You can say all the right things, play cool, act like you're unfazed, rehearse your detachment. But if your lifestyle doesn't reflect evolution, if your habits, your presence, your daily grind still look like the man she walked away from, you're not magnetic, you're predictable. And no woman is drawn to the man she can fully predict. So the question becomes, are you building a life so strong, so focused, so intentional that even if she never comes back, you still rise? That's the secret most guys miss. They focus so much on getting her back or getting her attention. They forget the bigger game, becoming the man that even you wouldn't recognize a year from now. That kind of transformation speaks louder than any text message ever could. It speaks in your posture, your discipline, the way you enter a room, the silence you hold when others feel the need to fill it, the way your energy says, I don't need anyone to choose me, I already chose myself. See, you don't attract high-quality women with tactics. You attract them with trajectory. Are you moving somewhere? Are you building something? Can she feel momentum when she's near you? Because if you're still in the same patterns, same frustrations, same excuses, she knows she still has you. She's not missing anything. She's just waiting until the day you break and reach out again. But if she looks at your life and sees growth, real growth in body, mind, finances, purpose, now something starts to shift in her. It's not regret yet. It's curiosity. Then it becomes confusion. Then doubt, then attraction. Why? Because now she doesn't recognize you. You've become the man she wished you were, but only once you stopped trying to be that for her. You did it for you. That's the key. This isn't about impressing her. It's about ascending past the version of yourself who needed her. And here's what most men don't realize when a woman sees you leveling up without her. It triggers something ancient inside her, because now she sees you don't orbit her anymore. You orbit something higher, your mission, your standard, your evolution. And that's when you go from being the man she left to being the man she feels lucky to have even known. So stop trying to be seen. Become unavoidable. Go so deep in your purpose that she'd have to go out of her way to pretend you don't exist. Upgrade your life until the old you would be intimidated to meet the new you. Because the ultimate flex isn't showing her what she lost. It's becoming so elevated that her opinion no longer matters. You're not here to be chosen. You're here to evolve until you're the standard. If that landed deep, here's what I want you to drop in the comments. I evolve for me, not for revenge, not for validation, for mastery. And if this message stirred something in you, subscribe right now. Because this isn't surface-level dating advice. This is a call to your highest self. Next up, number 9. The power of silence. Let her feel your absence. We're going to unpack how doing less can often move the needle more than any chasing ever could. Stay locked in. The version of you you've been waiting for, he's on the other side of the comfort zone you've been clinging to. Let's keep going. Number 9. Lead without chasing. Inspire her to follow your path. Let's cut through the noise. You're not here to chase her. You're here to lead yourself and let her choose whether or not she wants to follow. Now that might sound cold to some, but it's not. It's clarity. See, chasing is born from a place of lack. It says, I need you to complete me. It says, I need your approval to feel valid. And the moment a woman feels that energy, that neediness, that pursuit without power, something inside her shifts. She starts pulling back, testing you, losing respect even if she doesn't say it out loud. But when you lead, when you move with direction, vision, discipline, you flip the script. Because now you're not asking her to validate your worth. You're inviting her into a life that already has value with or without her. That's not arrogance. That's magnetism. A woman doesn't want to feel like she's your purpose. She wants to feel like she's aligned with a man who already has one. So ask yourself right now, are you moving through life with clarity? Are your days full of action and intention, or are you stuck refreshing messages, reading signs, reacting to crumbs of attention? You want power, start being the man that your younger self looked up to. Be so deep in your mission that her attention becomes a bonus, not a lifeline. And when she sees that, when she watches you lead without asking for her permission, her attraction takes a whole new shape. Because now you're not just another man hoping to win her favor. You're the path she wants to follow, not because you asked, but because she feels it. And here's the thing. Leading doesn't mean controlling. It doesn't mean telling her what to do, where to go, who to be. It means showing her what it looks like to be anchored, centered, grounded. It means being the kind of man who doesn't react to everything she throws your way because you're too focused on where you're going. You lead through presence, through actions, through consistency. And that kind of leadership, it doesn't beg, it doesn't chase. It simply walks and allows her to step into alignment. And yeah, sometimes she won't. Sometimes you'll outgrow her. Sometimes your clarity will intimidate her. That's okay. Because your mission will outlive the moments of rejection. Your legacy matters more than her response. So walk boldly. Let her see the vision in your eyes when you talk about your goals. Let her feel the strength in your silence when she tries to provoke you. Let her witness your growth so consistently that following you becomes instinctual, not something she's coerced into. And if she's the right woman, she'll fall in line. Not because you pushed, but because you pulled ahead. That's how you lead without chasing. Now, if this is the chapter in your life where you stop pursuing and start leading, type this below. Right now, I lead. I don't chase. Say it. Own it. Let it change you. And if you're getting real value here, hit that subscribe button, because what we're building isn't just content, it's identity. Number 10. Be the storm she trusts. Gain power by being unshakable. Power isn't loud. It's not in how much you talk. It's not in how many women chase you. It's not in showing off, flexing, or pretending to be unfazed. True power is quiet, stable, centered. It's the storm she trusts, not because it's chaotic, but because it never loses control. And that's the final shift. When you stop trying to prove anything, and you simply become the man she can't rattle. You see, women test not because they want weakness, but because they're trying to find where your center is. They push to feel the perimeter, to see what shakes you, what makes you snap, chase, fold, react. But when she finds nothing, breaks you. When she throws emotion, distance, silence, even manipulation your way, and all you give back is calm certainty, that's when you go from just another man to the only one who ever made her feel safe in the chaos. And safety for a woman isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological, spiritual. She's not drawn to the man who begs for peace, she's drawn to the man who creates it. And that peace, it begins with you. It begins the moment you stop being reactionary. When you no longer need to win every argument. When you no longer need to explain your boundaries, defend your pace, justify your vision. You just hold it. And when tension rises, because it always does, you don't raise your voice. You raise your presence. You let her know without words, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not bending to the storm. Because I am the storm. Not a storm that destroys, but one that sets the tone. That's the kind of man she respects. That's the kind of energy she melts into. Not because she has to, but because everything else feels like noise compared to your stillness. But let me be real with you. This kind of strength doesn't show up overnight. It's forged. In rejection. In failure. In silence. In the moments when you wanted to lash out but chose stillness. When you wanted to run but stayed planted. When you wanted to please but kept your standards. You earn emotional authority through the fire of self-restraint. And once you've built it, she'll feel it before you speak. You'll stop needing tactics. No games, no gimmicks, just presence. And if she walks away, you don't chase. You don't punish. You don't break down. You remain. Because the real storm doesn't beg to be noticed. It just shifts the air when it enters the room. And whether she stays or not, you stay whole. That's the final level. Not to manipulate her, not to impress her, but to become so unshakable within yourself that she realizes, this man doesn't need me to be okay. He's already complete. But if I'm lucky, he'll let me walk beside him. So be that man. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, not the most wanted. Be the most grounded. The one who commands space simply by walking in. The one who sets the tone by example, not explanation. The one who doesn't just promise strength, but embodies it. Because when you become the storm she trusts, you stop chasing power. You are the power. And that, my friend, is the shift. Power isn't about control. It's not about dominating women or manipulating outcomes. It's about controlling yourself, your time, your energy, your attention. When you stop being reactive, when you stop needing validation, when you start living from purpose, not approval, you stop trying to gain power over women. You become powerful, and women feel it. They respond to it. Not because you demanded it, but because they trust what doesn't waver. That's the man you're building, day by day, decision by decision. So if this video helped you reclaim a little bit more of your focus, your self-worth, your peace, then I'm glad you stayed with me to the end. If you want more of this clarity, more of this grounded mindset rooted in Stoicism and self-respect, make sure you hit subscribe right now. We're not here to chase. We're not here to impress. We're here to elevate. Thank you for watching. Stay centered, stay sharp. And hey, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.